A good day to all. Today we are starting the play The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. So, this scene 1 and scene 2 of Act 1 are completed. So, I'm going to start Act 1, scene 3. I will begin by giving a summary of this scene. In this scene, Shylock, the villain, is introduced. He is the villain of this play. So he is a money lender. He lends money and takes huge interest from people. That's how he lives. And he is also Jewish. And he hates Antonio. He does not like Antonio, the main character of this play. He doesn't like Antonio because of two reasons. One, Antonio, who is a wealthy merchant, gives money to people without interest. So he's a charitable person. So when he does that, it really affects the business of moneylenders like Shylock. The second reason why Shylock hates Antonio is because Antonio is a Christian and Shylock is a Jew, and Christians and Jews were known to have this fight for so long. So, since Bassanio needed money to marry Portia, and since Antonio doesn't have the money, Antonio told Bassanio to lend money from a moneylender. So Bassanio goes to Shylock. So Shylock initially thinks that he is not going to help Bassanio because he is Antonio's friend. Then Shylock thinks that this is the best opportunity to take upon his revenge on Antonio. So Shylock makes a deal. Shylock says that, okay, I will give you the money and I want you to pay me back with interest within the given time. And if you fail to do so, I will cut off 1 pound of flesh from Antonio's body. So 1 pound of flesh is equivalent to half kg. So if such an amount of flesh is removed from a body, that person will surely bleed and die. So this is how Shylock wanted to get rid of Antonio. Shylock wanted to take out his revenge on Antonio. So this is the summary of this scene. So this scene is called the bond scene, the bond story, because they are having a bond. Bond means an agreement on the loan, right? So this is a very important scene because it is a scene that helps the other scenes progress in a very exciting manner. Now let us look at the scene in detail. Scene 3, Venice, a public place. So the place is Venice and it's a public place. It could be a street, it could be anywhere that public has access to. Enter Bassanio and Shylock. Shylock, 3,000 ducats. Well, so ducat is the Venetian gold coin, Venetian currency, just like how rupee is the Indian currency. So Bassanio has asked Shylock for 3,000 ducats. So Shylock is thinking, okay, 3,000 ducats, okay. Bassanio, I saw for 3 months. I means yes. So Bassanio is saying, yes sir, and I will give it back in 3 months. Shylock, for 3 months, well. So Shylock is again pretending to be thinking, okay, for 3 months, okay. So Shylock is showing some attitude. He's not going to give the money easily because he was despised by Antonio for being a moneylender. Bassanio, for the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be the bound. For the which means for which. For the loan, Antonio shall be the bound. Bound means the surety, the guarantor. So Antonio will be a guarantee. Just like when we take a loan from bank, we give some sort of collateral, right? It could be the legal papers of our homes or our property, anything like that. So Bassanio is saying Antonio will be the bond of our deal. Shylock, Antonio shall become bond. Well means okay. Okay. So understand. Okay, it's okay. Antonio shall become bond. Bassanio, may you steed me. May you steed me means will you help me? Will you pleasure me? Here pleasure means oblige. Will you accept my request? Shall I know your answer? Shylock is saying 3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound. So Bassanio, your answer to that? So what is your reply? What is your decision? Shylock, Antonio is a good man. Bassanio, have you heard any imputation to the contrary? So when Shylock said Antonio is a good man, Bassanio is asking, have you heard any imputation, any opinion to the contrary? Contrary means opposite. Have you heard any opposite opinion about Antonio? Have you ever heard Antonio is a bad person? Shylock, oh no. My meaning in saying he's a good man is to have you understand me that he is sufficient. So Shylock is saying, oh no. When I said he's a good man, I was letting you know that he was sufficient enough for the bound. Sufficient enough to be the bound. Yet his means are in supposition. But his means, his wealth, his possession are in supposition. They are at risk. Why? Because all his merchant ships have gone for sale. They are all sailing. So if anything happens to all the ships at the same time, he would lose everything. He hath an argosy bound to Tripolis and another to Indies. So one argosy means the merchant ship. It's bound to Tripolis. Tripolis is kind of like a channel, sea channel through which ships are being sailed for export and import. And another to the Indies. Indies could mean West Indies. I understand. Moreover, upon the Rialto means it's a place where merchants gather for deciding the value of currency, like a stock exchange market where they exchange so many goods, etc., things like that. He had a third at Mexico, a fourth for England, and other ventures he hath means has, squandered abroad, squandered means spread. So he has a ship at Mexico, he has a ship at England, he has his ship squandered, spread all over the sea, all over the ocean. But ships are but boats, but sailors but men. And Shylock is saying, ships are big and strong. They can be very durable in an ocean, but still they are made of wooden boats. And sailors, even though sailors are very courageous and brave and strong, at the end of the day they are just men. They could be easily killed by anything. There be land rats and water rats, water thieves and land thieves. So Shylock is saying they could be facing so many kinds of problems. Land rats, water rats, land thieves, water thieves. His meaning, he's using these words as a pun, because what he's trying to say is that they could be affected by different kinds of problems. I mean pirates. And then there is the peril. Peril means the destruction of waters, wind and rocks. You could be affected by the water. There could be tsunami winds. There could be strong winds that could sink the ship. And rocks. The ships could accidentally hit a rock and sink. The man is, notwithstanding, sufficient. So, Shylock is saying, notwithstanding means, nevertheless, even though things are like this, even though all his wealth are squandered all over the ocean, I find him sufficient because he is an honorable man. He is good enough to be the bound. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take this bond. So I think I will take this bond. I will agree to this agreement. So this is what Shylock is saying. So this is all for today. Thank you all.